All right, so this is the front of my uncle's land here, and it is bug out land to him because he's in California, and this is a tiny little town in far north Idaho. So I'm gonna go through the gate here. It's been a while since anybody's been up here, including him, but I thought I'd show you around. He's got apple trees all over this property. There's an apple tree here and another apple trees right there. And then there's just apple trees all along this ridge here. And right down there is the highway. And if you can see, it's actually the river is right there, is the Kootenai River there. And you got Clifty Mountain right there. So for those of you who are familiar with this area, you know where I am, probably. But we'll go ahead and I'll show you the property here. And this is just the lower half of his property, and it's half of it is in the actually county up there, and then this portion of the land is in the city limits or in the town. So there's actually, it's 7 acres. Most of the property is up top. I'm not going to hike that hill up today because it's just too high, but there is a lot of land up there, and it plateaus out eventually, and it's just a nice piece of property up there. Which has an amazing view of the river and the valley right there. But today's video, I'm just going to be showing you his old bug out cabin. So this was actually a shed that he kind of patched together, and it was the shed to a house that was right there. And the house was unsalvageable when he bought the land, so we tore that down, and it's just been sitting there for almost a decade now, just slowly kind of rotting into the ground there. But go ahead and show you the inside here. And he just kind of pieced this together. Like I said, it was the old shed. This was actually all opened up, so he closed this off, put a door in here, and there's actually a window right there that he boarded up. And then put this little retaining wall in with a little roof. And eventually, I tell him you got to get some firewood in here and then get a wood stove in here. But I don't think he has this very well stocked up. I don't think there's very much stuff in here. Hopefully I do have the key this time. Let's see. I think this is the key here. Yes, that is the key. All right, coming in. Whew. I don't know if there are any animals in here. I think we're good. It's a little musty. Nobody's been in here for probably 5 years. So it's got this couch here that he got from Goodwill. Little table, little refrigerator. This platform here is where he puts his mattress and he sleeps there. So he's, it's just him. So if he had to bug out, he's in California, this is where he'd come. And hopefully he'd bring his supplies with him because there's not much in here for supplies. It looks like there was definitely a squirrel or something in here chewing at his chair there. I don't know. He said he had it pretty sealed up. He's got plastic lining on the walls, but and he put a new roof on, but I think something has made its way in here. Anyways, looks like he's just got lawn equipment in here. He's got his weed whip, a chainsaw. I got some tables for eating. Looks like a portable toilet right there. And here he's got his fireplace. Actually, a little fire pit. He'll bring it out on the deck, have fires out there. I don't think there's power out here. I think he has the power turned off. I don't know where you would even turn on lights. There's no light switch in here. I'm not sure how he does that. I'm going to see if I can make my camera a little lighter. I don't know if you guys can see that okay. But anyways, he's got a little shelf here. Hangs his clothes. He's got a toaster, little toaster oven. Not sure what that is. It's kind of trash bags. More trash bags. Kind of looks like just mostly lawn equipment. He's got some bar oil for his chainsaw. His helmet there. And this is just a table. I think this is where he cooks his food. Actually, he'll bring a little camp stove, cook meals here. Yeah, got a little bug lamp, bug zapper there. So yeah, not much. He could definitely make this a lot nicer, but I don't know what his plans are for this. He does come up here occasionally. It has been a while since he's been up here. Like I said, it's been probably 5 years. But, you know, when he does, he'll bring his sleeping bag and food and things. And he can hang out here for a couple weeks. But if things got really bad in California where he is, I mean, this definitely would make do as a bug out cabin. Even though we are in a little town here, it's a very small town. It's very safe. It's far north Idaho. Not a lot going on, and yeah, it's safe. The sheriff actually lives right next door to him. But it is a beautiful piece of land. The deer come down from the hill here, and they come down and bed down right in this grass and eat the apples from the apple trees. It is peaceful out here. Not sure if he's going to build here, but I definitely, hopefully one day he'll fix this up a little bit more. Definitely put in a wood stove. This thing needs a wood stove. And then he'll have himself a nice little cabin. So. Yeah, nothing fancy. It'll definitely keep you dry and keep you warm in worst case scenario. So, okay, we're gonna head into town. I'm gonna show you the town, and then we're gonna head over to the house that I own and the house that my wife and I first got when we moved up here and raised 2 of our kids in. And it was our starter house. It was actually the house where I started prepping, kind of. I'd actually got into prepping like 2-3 years before I moved up here. And then we moved up here and found a cool little house. There's a basement where I built shelves for my, you know, my first prepper pantry. So I'm gonna show you guys that. But yeah, let's go over there and I'll show you the house. All right, so here we are. This is the original house. This is the house my wife and I bought when we first moved up here. This is our starter house. Right on the river, right on the Kootenai River. So we'll go inside and I'll show you everything. So this is the deck. Looking out onto the highway there. Come over here. There's the front yard. Put in this fence and this lawn and this driveway about 7 years ago. Remodeled everything in here. It's a 100-year-old house. So put in new floors, I gutted everything, pulled the walls down, re-insulated everything. I put in this beam and raised all the ceilings. Put lighting throughout. It's all on a dimmer. This is the old wood stove fireplace. And then over here we have storage. It's kind of a linen closet we put in. Plenty of storage. There's the airy churn. This was our kids' bedroom right here. Yeah. Big closet. Little bookshelf right here. Looking out into the neighborhood. This looks out onto the deck there. And then I guess we'll just go over to this room real quick before I show you the main spot. Oh, light there. This was the kind of the master bedroom, although both of the bedrooms are pretty much the same size. So nice big closet right here. And then look out here. Those are all plum trees right there. And moving here, we got a bathroom. This we remodeled it. Put in this nice vanity. Got the washer dryer in here. We put in a nice fiberglass shower tub. Got some more storage here. So lots of storage throughout the house. Put in new floors. So yeah, nice bathroom. There's the access to the attic. And we'll move in here. This is the dining room area. And the ceilings were just, when we first bought the house, just went straight across. So I tore it out and vaulted the ceilings and then put in these can lights here. So it really opened up this room. I put in all this trim, new flooring, like I said, but re-trimmed all these windows, all the doors, everything. But this is looking out, just a beautiful view. This is definitely the highlight of the house. We got the Kootenai River right there. And then that's Clifty Mountain right there. So it's just amazing view. Down there's a baseball field down there. Nice park. You can walk down here and have barbecues and access the river. But I would just hang out here for hours, have coffee, watch the eagles swoop down and take the fish out of the river there. So just beautiful. Beautiful view. And it's not that loud. This highway is 35 miles an hour, so you don't really hear the cars. And I put new insulation. I have rock wool soundproofing insulation on all these walls, so it really kills all the sound. And then over here, I got the old school kitchen that I just kind of updated, painted all the cabinets, replaced all the hardware. I put in these countertops. Everything you can tell is just, I kind of did it as cheaply as I could, but it turned out nice, you know. I just pine countertops that I put some fiberglass on. It worked out really nice. And then here's the old farm sink that actually came with the house, and I actually sanded this and totally restored it. But the sink is over 100 years old, but it worked just as good as it did 100 years ago. A few little chips in the porcelain there, but love this sink. And what a view while you're doing dishes. You just hang out and watch the view. Brand new appliances throughout. Got a nice new refrigerator here, freezer, oven, stove, with a microwave. And all the ceilings in here, they're nice, you know, vaulted ceilings, 8-foot ceilings throughout, or probably 10-foot. Am I saying 10 foot? And then over here we got the pantry area. This is where we would keep the pantry. So we had some shelves there, we kept food. And it's just a nice little, kind of like a mud room. You could come in from the front on the deck, and then in here when it was snowing. Put this little doggy door in there for my dogs. And we'll go ahead and open up the basement door here, and I'll show you the basement. I'll show you my original prepper pantry or prepper room. It's one of the first things I did when we moved here 11 years ago. Was I fixed up this basement, turned it into a full shop slash prepper room slash prepper pantry. So put these tables in here, big workbench right here. I do a lot of my food prep. I put all my food in my Mylar bags. Built these shelves here for just more workshop space. And then this area right here was actually where I kept all my painting stuff. So I have my ladder racks, all my ladders hanging right there, my sprayers, pressure washer, my tools and stuff right in here. And then just another workbench. And then this is where I kept all of our food and survival supplies on these shelves. These shelves are like one of the first things I built when we moved in here. But it was really cool. I had this place just packed full of food and survival stuff. It was really nice. And it's a perfect basement. It just keeps like a nice neutral, even temperature down here because it's kind of subterranean. This actually backs up. You'll notice this wall is like a 100-year-old rock wall here. That's just basically backs up to the ground. But it just stays nice and cool and dry down here. So it's perfect for storing food and things. And then over here, I kind of built this for when I was starting my my Etsy store and building all my survival products like the fire tinder and snares, and at the time I was doing a lot of medical type stuff, first aid kits. So this is a cool place to do all my packaging and stuff. And in here was my office where I would do a lot of the orders and things. And never put that window in, but there is a spot for a window. This is just kind of more storage area, and back there's the water shut off and all that stuff for the sprinklers and things. But yep, this brings back memories. This was a nice little workshop. And again, you could kind of come out here. I actually had a view of the river again. Yep, I have my little shelf with all my auto supplies, lubricants, things like that. And then this door basically takes you out to the side of the house. I got that locked right now, but yeah, turn those off. So yeah, great little basement. Definitely miss it here, but we outgrew it. You know, by the time our third child came along, we had to move to a bigger house. So go ahead. That's my contraption to keep this door up. This door is so heavy though. I was always nervous it would fall and hit somebody. It's probably like a 100-pound door. All right, let's see. I think, well, I guess we'll go out to the back deck just so you guys can see it. There's the family. But yeah, out here, I actually keep my potted plants out here. I had a nice garden going out here for a while, but did really well. Yeah, it was nice. I got some security lights out here. I could keep an eye on everything that was going on here, but just beautiful. There's a nice little walking path right here. Walk down the road and into town. So it's really close to town. It's just a nice location. All right, go ahead. All right, so that is pretty much everything in the house here. Actually, this front door, never showed you this. This is actually a fiberglass door that yours truly wood grained. Notice that? I painted all that wood grain on there. And I even wood grained the jamb here. So, turned out pretty nice, if I do say so myself. So, that's gonna do it for me today, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions for me. And if you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, go ahead and hit that notification bell. So with that said, until the next time, stay prepared.